Jonesy and Amanda's cutting room floor. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Jonesy and Amanda's cutting room floor. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The cutting room floor. Hey, 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 you ready for more? Get ready, everybody. Here is some more of Jonesy and Amanda's cutting room floor.
On the cutting room floor, we find raw dogging back in the news.
Raw dogging back in the news. I saw this woman. I think she's part historian, part scientist, social scientist. She's brilliant. And she is talking about the idea of sitting and doing nothing. That's what raw dogging is.
Mm-hmm.
And for many people, you think, I'd like nothing more than to sit and do nothing, just be alone with my thoughts. What a treasure, what a treat it would be. But when it comes to the crunch, not many of us can do it. Have a listen.
I think the internet calls it raw dogging, but scientists call it default mode processing, which is essentially what your brain is doing when there is nothing else going on. You've got no distractions whatsoever. And there were this whole bunch of experiments where they got people to sit in a room in silence on their own for 15 minutes. And 9 of these studies, separate studies, reported effectively that people didn't like it. They didn't like it at all. And then a 10th study took it a step further. They wanted to see whether we would rather do something unpleasant than nothing at all. So they took a group of people, did a questionnaire, and they all indicated that they would not like to receive an electric shock. In fact, they would pay money to not be shocked, right? And then what they did is they got them into a room on their own with nothing to entertain themselves apart from their thoughts for 15 minutes, which I don't think is very long. But there was a button in there that they could press if they wanted to that would give them an electric shock. Now, of all of the women sitting in there, they managed to live through these 15 minutes. Only 25% of women chose to press that button. Of the men, 67% chose to give themselves an electric shock rather than sit in silence.
Whoa.
What would you do, Brendan?
I think I'd press the button. I would say press the button. People talk about like meditation and all that sort of stuff. I reckon I'm good for about 3 minutes of just total quiet, sitting there. I'd go nuts. If I was in jail, I would go nuts.
I think I'd press it. Not because I'd be bored, but I've got this weird thing where I want to be tasered, where if I see a sign saying wet paint, I have to touch it.
Yeah.
If someone says, yuck, this smells disgusting, I have to sniff it.
Oh, you would have loved the other day my neighbour Gaz, his freezer broke down. Gaz is a keen fisherman and it was his bait freezer. The smell was indescribably bad.
I don't think I'd have liked it, but if he said to me, I've got a small sample of this, have a sniff.
Remember,
I may have.
Years ago here, we had a product called Liquid Arse. And it was...
That's what scientists are spending their time making.
It was a bottle of the
liquid,
worst smelling...
Yeah, and people would put it under your seat or something, and it smelt like homeless bottom.
Yeah.
A bottom that hadn't been washed for some years.
I don't know where you're hanging out to get this smell. But nonetheless, It was... And I would say that this Bates, Gaz's broken down bait freezer was on par with Liquid Arse.
Do you think you could get it as a perfume?
Le Liquid Arse. Get it now. But Gaz is an old fisherman. He said to me, come in here. And I walked in, and I heaved. And he said, oh, what's the matter with you? It's bloody great. And I said, Gaz, I can't talk to you. I've got to leave this room.
I'm a big dry reacher. That's Jack Reacher's brother.
Yep.
But I'm fascinated by manky things.
You are.
I don't like them, but I have a fascination. I'd have pressed that.
If you went in, I'm a celebrity, get me out of here, you'd just be in it for the long drop.
I'd be in it for the long drop and for the tasty foods.
Camel's anus, anyone?
Yes, please.
Okay, kids, that's it for today. Come back tomorrow for more of Jonesy and Amanda's cutting room floor.